Hola, 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 hola. Soy Kay Dee. I am Kay Dee. Thank you for watching my videos and thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel and thank you for following me on social because it's important to get that encouragement on a daily basis. So you can follow me on Instagram at i.am, sorry, I forgot it, i.am.kaydee, K-A-Y-D-E, and at Life Together KD, which you will see. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna put it on this side. Anyway, where else can you follow me? I am on Facebook at those same handles, and I am on Twitter at IamKaydee1 because I'm number one in my book. Okay. I don't know. It's because, anyway. So, I just wanted to talk to you today. Sorry, I'm just in a silly mood. I wanted to talk to you today about love. But what about love? Love is a huge topic. Love can be platonic love. It can be friendship love. It can be romantic love. It can be family love. And I did a podcast on this called I Just Want to Be Loved. By the way, check out my podcast because it is awesome. And you can find it on iTunes, Google and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, and wherever you find podcasts, you should be able to find it on most major podcast platforms. It's called Life Together with Kay Dee. Because we have to do life together. We're not meant to do life alone, isolated in our shell. We're meant to do life together in community, and it's really important. And keeping yourself from being isolated can keep you out of, can keep you in a better state of mind, I should say. Because, like I said, we need each other. Sometimes we try to handle things all on our own, and we just kind of silo ourselves and we isolate ourselves. It's not a healthy place to be because sometimes you can just spiral in your thinking, and it's not good for you mentally and emotionally. So it's good to have people, even if it's not that many people, but having a few good people in your circle for friendship, for mentorship, advice, just somebody to be there for you. It's important. So subscribe to my podcast, Life Together with Kay Dee, on most major podcast platforms and get some extra encouragement. I love podcasts. When I discovered them, I was so hyped about it. I was so like, yes, this is awesome because I'm a thinker. I like to learn things. I like to listen to things that pique my interest. So it's a good way to kind of feed your, I don't say nerdy side, but if you want to call it that, feed your nerdy side or feed the part of you that's like always craving information or wanting to learn something new or even just to be entertained, because there are comedy podcasts as well, music podcasts, all the kinds of podcasts, just saying. All right, so today, really fast, we're going to talk about the importance of love. Now, if you know me, great. If you don't know me, let me tell you, I love God and I'm not ashamed of it. I know everyone doesn't believe the same thing. That's perfectly cool. But I will mention God in some of my videos, and even if you don't agree or don't see things the same way, I still hope that you are able to get something from it. So first and foremost, I believe that God loves us, and I believe God made us, God loves us. Like I said, I know everyone doesn't believe that, but for me personally, just knowing that God loves me and has been working in my life from the time I was a small child gives me a groundedness and a comfort that, it grounds me and it gives me like a foundation and comfort to know that regardless of what I go through in life, and especially during those really tough times, that God has got me. He's got me back, always. Also, Yeah, and it does a lot for your self-esteem too, just to know that the God who made you loves you. And I know people have had like bad experiences with church and stuff, which I get because I've had bad experiences in church myself. Thankfully, I didn't turn away from, from God. But people are, we're all flawed. We're all flawed beings, right? And sometimes, churches, there's not going to be a perfect church, period. Never, right? And because we're flawed, sometimes people might say messed up things or do messed up things. But hopefully you can find a body of believers or a church or, a group that really exemplifies the love of Christ. And even though nobody's perfect and even though people make mistakes, hopefully you can find a church that is accountable and, admits when they make mistakes and builds each other up and really lives out the teachings of Jesus, because, unfortunately it's more rare than anything these days, but there are still some good churches out there. Yeah. So there's the love of God, love of people, the family love. That's another touchy subject, which my very first podcast was how to deal with difficult family situations. Because family love, you're born into a family, right? You can't help it, you're born into that family. And hopefully you have an awesome family, but a lot of families, have issues. Most families have issues and dysfunction of some sort or some, stuff, some issues. So a lot of times our family relationships are difficult and it's a struggle. And if you have awesome family relationships, that's great. Or if you have an awesome relationship with one of your family members, that's great. You may not have that with every single family member. It's okay. It's okay. Some family members you have to have boundaries because of, issues and toxicity and whatever. So it's okay to have healthy boundaries, even in family relationships. But hopefully you at least have a family member or two or three or more that you can really, that you gel well with, and that the love is reciprocal between you. And I think that love should be reciprocal, period. But I think it's hard too, because a lot of people, because we've experienced difficult things and because we've been damaged earlier in life, or maybe not so early in life, where we've had toxic relationships, abusive relationships, something bad that happened that skewed our view of what love should be and what relationships should be. Maybe, you think, oh, I'm okay, well, that's just the way this family member is, or that's just the way my ex-loved one was, or that's just the way, my friend is. But really, you normalized what was toxic. And so sometimes, most times, if our normal is tolerating toxicity, then a lot of times we have a skewed view or a messed up view of what love really is and what a healthy, loving relationship is or should be. And if that's the case, I would personally recommend getting some healing. You can go to a mentor that you trust that has consistently had good advice for you over the years. Not that they're God or anything like that in your life, but maybe, they'll give you some good things to think about and to point you in a direction, give you some resources to help you heal. Same thing with therapy and counseling. Highly recommend finding therapy and counseling that you can afford. Nowadays they have life coaches, which is not the same as a counselor. A life coach is really supposed to kind of help you figure out your life direction and different goals that you have, versus a counselor kind of digs into those wounded places and helps you to work out, some issues that you may have, and gives you the tools to move forward in healing. And a life coach does a lesser version of that, but sometimes maybe that might be all you need, and I'm just trying to think, counselor, life coach, and mentor. So if you have that, then I would suggest that you utilize it, because finding somebody who is healthy and wise and knowledgeable can help you to really address those heart issues, so that you can start to change the way that you view love from a bad normal. But like I said, if your normal was toxic and you just kind of, that's how your life was and that's all you knew, but now you're realizing this is not good. I need a healthy mindset and outlook and view of what love is and what a loving relationship or friendship should look like. Talk to one of the people I mentioned, mentor, pastor, if you trust your pastor to, if you're in a church where you are like really feeling good about the pastoral leadership, then go to a pastor or an elder, mentor, and then I was trying to remember everything I said, and then counselor or therapist, because they're trained. They go to school for this, they're trained, and they have experience to help you work through some issues you may have, or a life coach. So that's all we're going to say. That's all I am going to say today. But I hope that something that I have said has helped you to know, number one, you are absolutely loved and you are lovable. Because sometimes we think we've messed up so bad that we're not worthy of love, and that's not true. If you realize your worth, and again, my opinion, but God made us, God loves us, we're made in God's image, so we have worth. So if you understand that your worth, then you realize that you are worthy of being loved, and you are worthy of giving love, and you're worthy of being in a healthy, loving relationship, and having healthy, loving friendships, and having healthy, loving family relationships as well. But that part of you might have to heal, but it is possible. It is possible, right? That you can have those good relationships in your life. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say today. I hope that something like I said, I hope something I said has helped you to know you are loved, you are lovable. There's hope. There's always hope. You're alive, there's hope. And you're meant to be here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow me on all social. Much love, much peace. Blessings.